Top 26 Movies Review. Vanya, who recently lost her mother, finds herself unable to adapt to residing with Uncle Aiden Kev and Aunt Myra. Aiden acquired the rights to a trending doll named Sabrina and created a unique version just for her. Myra gifts it to Vanya, who is having her birthday. Vanya becomes happier but does not heal from grief. While at school, Vanya is given a Charlie game by classmate Ditho, looking to communicate with her deceased mom. She forgets to say goodbye to Charlie and pray, which is important so that the spiritual door is closed and the invited spirits can go back to heaven correctly. Sabrina is possessed. Vanya begins to become more and more interested in the paranormal. In order to stop Vanya's interest in the paranormal, Aiden comes to a decision to take her on a holiday to spend quality time together with her and Myra. This attempt still fails. One night during vacation, Aiden and Myra start to see Vanya's mother, Anini. After the vacation, the couple travels to Bandung, begging demonologists Laris and Bagas to return Andini's spirit to heaven. Vanya is brought to her nanny as they perform a ritual. Anini possesses Vanya and stabs the nanny. They then carry out an exorcism on Vanya, enabling a sequence of possessions. It concludes with the reveal that the spirit isn't always Anini, but Jiya, a demon that seeks a human host to perform ritual killings, using loved ones as bait. Everyone escapes, and Laris locks the door, but Jiya quickly escapes the house. With a new method, they carry out a ritual on the residents. Jiya reminds Laris of a ritual she and Bagas performed years ago on Jiya, who traumatized Aiden. Aiden broke the rule of not entering the ritual room until the ritual was completed. It is revealed that Aiden's father bequeathed 40% of Kev toys to Aiden, with 60% to his brother. Fueled by jealousy, Aiden visited a shaman and asked the shaman to kill his brother. The brother is killed, however, the price of Aiden's jealousy is great, and Dini's life is lost. As Jiya vanishes and Aiden's crimes are revealed, Aiden is arrested. Upon Andini's spirit's request, Vanya christens Myra her mom. Meanwhile, Laris and Bagas receive a name from someone asking them to solve a case, one worse than the latest.
Aryan Agnihotri, Shahid Kapoor, is a smart robotics engineer who takes robotics after his aunt, Urmila Shukla, Dimple Kapodia, working in her company, Robotex. She invites him to the USA, where he meets the super-intelligent female robot automation alias Sifra, Kriti Sanan, who looks and behaves like a human, a fact unknown to him. He falls in love with her, but later learns that she is actually a robot, an ploy used by his aunt to test if humans can tell Sifra apart from themselves. Heartbroken, he returns to India and agrees to an arranged marriage. However, when he realizes his love for Sifra, he decides to sneak out of the engagement ceremony and is caught by his grandfather, who suggests he follow his heart and assure him that he will handle the family in his absence. Aryan wishes for Sifra to be in India so that he can introduce her to his family. He calls up his aunt to ask her to send her to India for further testing against a traditional Indian family. She agrees to it and sends her to India, where Aryan introduces her as his girlfriend to his family, leading to numerous comical situations. Aryan's family, unaware that she is a robot, agrees to their marriage. Before their wedding, she installs a faulty update written with a virus that corrupts her memory and causes her to forget everything. Aryan calls his aunt to ask for help, and she sends him a memory backup, which Aryan installs, causing her to successfully recover her memory. Urmila, who was unaware of Aryan's intentions of marrying her, is against him after knowing the truth and orders him to return her as she is her company's IP. He manages to convince his aunt after an emotional conversation, who agrees to let him keep her. On their wedding day, a blackout occurs while Sifra is charging herself, which causes her to malfunction. Her speech becomes distorted and movements begin to glitch while she performs orders given to her previously that were taken back, one of them being setting Delhi on fire. Looking at the destruction caused by her, a heartbroken Aryan is left with no choice but to stop her, ultimately by slashing her face with a sword, which reveals her inner technical workings, and realizes that even though she looks human, she can never truly be one. Sometime later, Uljha launches a series of robots, including Cifra 2.0. The new Cifra has her memory and settings formatted, and Aryan is no longer her administration Jiya, Janvi Kapoor. And Yu in turn approaches Aryan, asking him for advice on how to find true love. Looking at their bonding, the new Cifra starts to feel jealous, and Aryan notices her emotions, smiling.
In 1956, Father Noiret and young Jacques performed their daily chores in their church in Tarascon, France. While investigating a disturbance, Noiret is raised into the air, set on fire, and burned to death before a terrified Jacques, who then flees. For years following the events at St. Cartha's Monastery, Sister Irene now serves in a convent in Italy. Maurice works at a boarding school in France, where he has befriended a young Irish student named Sophie and her teacher and mother, Kate. Irene has a vision of Maurice asking her to save him. She is dispatched by the Cardinal to investigate a series of deaths across Europe, attributed to the demon Valak, due to her previous experience with the demon. She travels to Tarascon with Sister Deborah, a young novice who expresses her difficulty in accepting miracles, such as the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. A version of Saint Lucy by Italian painter Becca Fiumi is shown in some sequences. In Tarascon, Irene is haunted by Valak and has a strange vision. Sister Deborah tells Irene that she received Noiret's rosary from Jacques. At school, Sophie is bullied by classmates and locked in the deconsecrated sealed-off chapel. The bully points out the goat on the stained glass window, claiming the devil appears when the sun shines through and turns the goat's eyes red. One night, the headmistress encounters a sleepwalking Maurice and is killed by Valak in the guise of her deceased son. In 1956, Father Noiret and young Jacques performed their daily chores in their church in Tarascon, France. While investigating a disturbance, Noiret is raised into the air, set on fire, and burned to death before a terrified Jacques, who then flees. For years following the events at St. Cartha's Monastery, Sister Irene now serves in a convent in Italy. Maurice works at a boarding school in France, where he has befriended a young Irish student named Sophie and her teacher and mother, Kate. Irene has a vision of Maurice asking her to save him. She is dispatched by the Cardinal to investigate a series of deaths across Europe, attributed to the demon Valak, due to her previous experience with the demon. She travels to Tarascon with Sister Deborah, a young novice who expresses her difficulty in accepting miracles, such as the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. A version of Saint Lucy by Italian painter Becca Fiumi is shown in some sequences. In Tarascon, Irene is haunted by Valak and has a strange vision. Sister Deborah tells Irene that she received Noiret's rosary from Jacques. At school, Sophie is bullied by classmates and locked in the deconsecrated sealed-off chapel. The bully points out the goat on the stained glass window, claiming the devil appears when the sun shines through and turns the goat's eyes red. One night, the headmistress encounters a sleepwalking Maurice and is killed by Valak in the guise of her deceased son.
In Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir, a terrorist organization led by
Occupied! Pakistan!
was assigned to counter the threat and forms a team called Air Dragons, consisting of
फाइटर
skilled
वो नहीं है जो अपने
fighter
टारगेट
pilots.
अचीव करता है,
The team includes
वो
squadron
है
leaders Shensa,
जो उन्हें ठोक देता है।
Sartaj Gil, Bashir Bash Khan, and Sukdeep Sikhi Singh. During training, the team members bond, and
आप
many
सब इंडियन
develop
एयरफोर्स के
romantic feelings
टॉप
for
एविएटर्स हो, इसलिए आप सबको
However,
हैंड पिक करके
Paddy is
हमने
haunted
एक
by
क्विक
his
रिस्पांस
past
टीम
after
बनाई
he
है।
lost his fiancée
एक
in
दूसरे
a
को जानो,
previous mission.
बॉन्ड विद ईच अदर, जंग
The
में
team learned of an attack on
शायद
CRPF
next यहाँ से
soldiers in Pulwama, organized by Aisa. In response, the Indian Air Force, along with law agent Annabelle, planned a counterattack.
Deadliest terror attack.
इंटरपर्सनल रिश्ते ही
Despite
काम
succeeding
आएंगे।
in the mission, the aftermath causes conflict between
Caught you,
India
Minnie.
and Pakistan.
arrogant.
The Pakistani
Confident.
Air Force launched a retaliatory attack on the Indian base as a result. Despite Rocky's orders, Patty,
उन्हें दिखाना
Taj,
पड़ेगा कि-
and Bash crossed the Indo-Pakistan border. Taj and Bash's plane
बाप
was shot
कौन है?
down. Patty is suspended from his air traffic.
हम POK एंटर कर रहे हैं. Mission is a go.
फंस गए हिंदुस्तानी.
ईट का जवाब पत्थर से देने आए हो।
तुमने मुझे रुलाने का फैसला लिया।
पर वतन से हसीन सनम नहीं होता। हर बार तुम्हारी ईगो की कीमत ये फोर्स चुका था, लेकिन इस बार उसकी कीमत तुम भी चुकाओगे। हीरो में सिमट कर सोने से लिपट कर मरते हैं कई।
ये मेरी टीम है सर,
और उन्हें स्ट्राइक।
4 F-16 पाकिस्तान से श्रीनगर की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं।
अब टेरर अटैक नहीं, उन्हें स्ट्राइक।
4 F-16 पाकिस्तान से श्रीनगर की तरफ।
POK का मतलब है पाकिस्तान ऑक्यूपाइड कश्मीर। तुमने ऑक्यूपाई किया है, मालिक हम हैं। तो जैसे टेररिस्ट की वजह से अगर हम बदतमीजी पे उतर आए, तो तुम्हारा हर मोहल्ला IOP बन जाएगा। जरूरत है, पर तिरंगे से खूबसूरत कफन नहीं होता।
The Fault in Our Stars. The Fault in Our Stars is a poignant romantic drama based on the best-selling novel by John Green. Directed by Josh Boone, the film follows the story of two teenagers, Hazel Grace Lancaster, Shailene Woodley, and Augustus Waters, Ansel Elgort, who meet at a cancer support group and fall in love. The film explores themes of love, loss, and mortality as Hazel and Augustus navigate their relationship while dealing with their respective battles with cancer. Here's a more detailed review. Plot: the story centers on Hazel, a 16-year-old girl living with cancer who meets Augustus, a charming and optimistic boy in remission, at a support group. Despite their initial hesitations, they form a deep connection and embark on a journey together, including a trip to Amsterdam to meet Hazel's favorite author. Characters: Shailene Woodley delivers a powerful performance as Hazel, capturing her vulnerability and strength with authenticity. Ansel Elgort shines as Augustus, bringing charisma and depth to the character. The chemistry between Woodley and Elgort is palpable, making their love story all the more compelling. Themes: The Fault in Our Stars explores themes of love, loss, and the human experience in the face of mortality. It delves into the complexities of living with illness and the impact it has on relationships and perspective. Emotional impact: the film is emotionally resonant, eliciting both tears and laughter from viewers. It's a poignant portrayal of love and loss, with moments of heartbreak and hope intertwined throughout. Adaptation: while the film stays true to the essence of the novel, some details are inevitably altered or condensed for the screen. Overall, it's a faithful adaptation that captures the spirit of John Green's story. Direction and cinematography: Josh Boone's direction effectively brings the story to life. In Evil Dead 2013, director Fede Alvarez takes on the daunting task of remaking Sam Raimi's iconic horror classic from 1981. The story follows a group of friends who retreat to a remote cabin to help one of them overcome her drug addiction. However, their plans go awry when they discover the Book of the Dead and unwittingly unleash demonic forces that possess and torment them one by one. Alvarez's film pays homage to the original while offering its own spin on the story. It amps up the gore and intensity, delivering a relentless onslaught of scares and gruesome imagery. The practical effects work is particularly impressive, creating visceral and stomach-churning moments that will leave horror fans squirming in their seats. The cast, led by Jane Levy as the troubled Mia, delivers solid performances, capturing the fear and desperation of their characters as they face off against the demonic entities haunting the cabin. Levy, in particular, shines as she undergoes a harrowing transformation from victim to reluctant heroine. Visually, Evil Dead 2013 is stunning, with Alvarez making the most of the eerie forest setting and dilapidated cabin to create a sense of claustrophobia and dread. The cinematography is slick and stylish, while the score by Roque Baños adds to the tension and atmosphere. While some fans of the original may balk at the idea of a remake, Evil Dead 2013 stands on its own as a worthy entry in the horror genre. It's a relentless roller coaster ride of terror that doesn't let up until the credits roll, leaving audiences both terrified and exhilarated. Whether you're a die-hard fan of the original or just looking for a good scare, this film delivers in spades. Is a 2019 American supernatural horror film written and directed by Gary Dauberman, in his directorial debut, from a story by Dauberman and James Wan, who also served as producer with Peter Safran. It serves as a sequel to 2014's Annabelle and 2017's Annabelle, Creation, and as the sixth installment in the Conjuring Universe franchise. The film stars McKenna Grace, Madison Iseman, and Katie Sarif, along with Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, who reprise their roles as Ed and Lorraine Warren. In early April 2018, Warner Bros. Pictures announced that a then-untitled film in the Conjuring Universe franchise would be released on July 3, 2019. Later that month, it was announced that the film would be another installment in the Annabelle series, with Dauberman signed on to write and direct the film in his directorial debut, based on a story treatment written by Dauberman and Wan. Principal photography commenced by mid-October and officially wrapped in December 2018 in Los Angeles. Annabelle Comes Home was theatrically released in the United States on June 26, 2019, by Warner Bros. Pictures and New Line Cinema. It grossed over $231 million worldwide and received mixed reviews from critics. Demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren confiscate the demonic Annabelle doll from nurses Debbie and Camilla. During the drive back home, the doll summons spirits to attack Ed. Annabelle is locked in a sacred glass case in the couple's artifacts room to ensure the evil is contained. Sometime later, the Warrens welcome Mary Ellen, who will be in charge of babysitting their daughter, Judy, while they travel overnight to investigate another case. At school, Judy notices a ghostly priest following her. Mary Ellen's friend, Daniela, arrives uninvited at the Warrens' home. She sneaks into the artifacts room and inadvertently releases the spirit of Annabelle, Bean Mullins. Annabelle releases other spirits, such as the Ferryman, the Bride, a Feely Melee board game, and the Black Shuck, and the terror begins. Mary Ellen's crush, Bob Palmieri, arrives but is attacked by the Black Shuck. Judy and Mary Ellen are confronted by other spirits. Daniela sneaks back into the house to return the artifacts room's keys. She gets locked inside and is tormented by the haunted objects. She is found in time by Judy and Mary Ellen. Judy explains that they must lock Annabelle back in her case so the other spirits will rest. Bob protects Judy from the Black Shuck as she retrieves Mary Ellen's asthma inhaler, while Daniela is possessed by the Bride. Mary Ellen and Judy find the doll when the ghostly priest, acting as Judy's guardian, guides them to the Ferryman. They retrieve the case's key but struggle when the demon of the doll attacks them. Daniela recovers when Judy plays Ed's recorded footage of the bride's exorcism. After the doll is put back in the case and locked, the disturbances cease. Ed and Lorraine return the next morning. At Judy's birthday party, Daniela apologizes to Lorraine, who gives her a comforting message from her father.
Where we dissect the adrenaline-fueled chaos of this action-packed spectacle. Crakk movie review, Vidyut Jamal, Arjun Rampal, Nora Fateh, and Amy Jackson's film is not an out-and-out revenge drama, showing mindless action that sometimes doesn't even pack a punch, has been quite a favorite genre for Bollywood. And Crakk, Jitega To Jaiga doesn't do anything differently to stand out in the crowd. For the novelty factor, and to make it look somewhat different from other actioners, the film infuses a lot of extreme sports with action, but it lacks the depth in its narrative, and never appears fully convincing as far as the storyline is concerned. Director Aditya Jack combines too many tropes to make an impact and ends up with none of them striking a chord. At the outset, Crakk is clear in its intention. It wants to impress and not leave any lasting impact, but it struggles for most parts even while doing so. Also, it's watching action and stunts on screen came with any sort of a disclaimer. Crakk should flash it every few minutes, for there is no dearth of adrenaline-pumping sequences it offers. Some are actually quite exhilarating and give you goosebumps, while others end up as poorly enhanced using VFX. The film opens with Siddharth Sidhu, Vidya Jamal, a slum dweller in Mumbai, dangerous, life-threatening stunts on a moving local train. He leans out of the door, touches poles, climbs on the top, and runs from one compartment to another like a cakewalk. His friends call him Crakk, crazy in the head, though Crakk is also an adjective used for very well-trained and skillful sports players. I'm not sure if Crakk actually intended to play on this very emotion. Here, it's Vidyat's eccentricity, his passion for trying potentially fatal stunts, and its form the crux of the plot. The story also gives a flashback, where his elder brother Nihal, Ankit Mohan, lost his life in Maidan, an underground survival sports competition, and hence the parents still want Sidhu to follow his footsteps, but Sidhu couldn't care less. He continues to film himself doing these dangerous stunts, often getting caught by the police, but he eventually makes it to Maidan and through the streets of Mumbai, is soon smuggled to a sports arena in Poland. Here, Sidhu must defeat Maidan's showrunner and formidable champion Zeb, Arjun Rampal, an equally skilled entrant from other countries. It's much later in the story that he figures some foul play in his brother's death, and his motive shifts from just winning the competition to unraveling the truth about Nibble. In his journey, he also meets Uljha, Nora Fateh,
A Quiet Place Part 2, 2021, directed by John Krasinski, continues the gripping story of survival in a world overrun by sound-sensitive creatures. Following the events of the first film, the Abbott family, led by Evelyn, Emily Blunt, must venture beyond their home to seek help and find a way to defeat the terrifying creatures that threaten their existence. Krasinski's direction in the sequel maintains the tension and suspense established in the original film while expanding the world and exploring new challenges faced by the characters. The film opens with a flashback sequence that provides insight into the origins of the creatures, setting the stage for the events that unfold. Emily Blunt once again delivers a powerhouse performance as Evelyn Abbott, showcasing her strength, resilience, and determination to protect her family at all costs. The ensemble cast, including Millicent Simmons and Noah Jupe reprising their roles as Evelyn's children, also shines, bringing depth and emotion to their characters. Visually, A Quiet Place Part 2 is stunning, with cinematographer Colin Morgan capturing the desolate landscape and tense moments of suspense with precision and skill. The film's sound design, once again led by Ethan van der Ren, enhances the immersive experience, creating a palpable sense of dread and unease. The sequel further explores themes of family, sacrifice, and survival, as the Abbotts encounter new allies and adversaries in their quest for safety. The pacing is relentless, with each scene ratcheting up the tension and leading to a pulse-pounding climax that will leave audiences on the edge of their seats. While A Quiet Place Part 2 may lack some of the novelty and originality of its predecessor, it more than makes up for it with its gripping story, strong performances, and heart-pounding action. It's a worthy continuation of the franchise that will satisfy fans of the first film and leave them eagerly anticipating what comes next. In conclusion, A Quiet Place Part 2 is a tense and suspenseful thriller that delivers on the promise of the original while expanding the world and raising the stakes. With its stellar performances, immersive atmosphere, and relentless tension, it's a must-see for horror fans and anyone who enjoys a gripping cinematic experience. cultural references. The review finds the film desperately dull, despite its attempts to address various themes and provoke reactions from the audience. A Quiet Place, 2018, is a gripping horror thriller directed by John Krasinski, who also stars alongside Emily Blunt. Set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by sound-sensitive creatures, the film follows the Abbott family as they navigate a life of silence to avoid detection. Krasinski's direction is masterful, creating a tense and atmospheric experience that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. The use of silence as a storytelling device is particularly effective, drawing audiences into the character's plight and amplifying the fear of the unknown. Blunt and Krasinski deliver powerful performances as parents struggling to protect their children in a dangerous world. Their chemistry on-screen adds depth to their characters and enhances the emotional resonance of the film. Visually, A Quiet Place is stunning, with cinematographer Charlotte Burrs Christensen capturing the eerie beauty of the abandoned landscape. The sound design is equally impressive, with sound editor Ethan van der Rin creating a symphony of silence punctuated by moments of terror. At its core, A Quiet Place is a story about family, sacrifice, and survival. It explores themes of communication, resilience, and the lengths people will go to protect the ones they love. The film's emotional depth elevates it beyond typical horror fare, making it a memorable and thought-provoking viewing experience. Overall, A Quiet Place is a triumph of suspense and storytelling. It's a must-see for horror fans and anyone looking for a unique and thrilling cinematic experience. With its strong performances, innovative premise, and nail-biting suspense, it's no surprise that A Quiet Place became a critical and commercial success. The Ring, 2017. The Ring, 2017, is a psychological horror film directed by Javier Gutierrez and is the third installment in the Ring film series, based on the Japanese novel Ring by Koji Suzuki. The movie serves as both a sequel and a reboot to the original American adaptation released in 2002. The plot revolves around Julia, played by Matilda Lutz, a young woman who becomes concerned when her boyfriend Holt, played by Alex Rowe, stops communicating with her after becoming involved with a mysterious cult-like group led by Professor Gabriel, played by Johnny Galecki. Julia discovers that Holt is part of a deadly experiment involving a cursed videotape that brings death to anyone who watches it within 7 days. Determined to save Holt, Julia watches the tape herself, initiating a race against time to uncover the secrets behind the curse before it's too late.
It kills you 7 days after you watch.
One of the strengths of The Ring lies in its atmosphere and visuals. Gutierrez creates a chilling ambience, with eerie cinematography and a haunting score that effectively builds tension throughout the film. The use of dark, desolate settings and unsettling imagery adds to the overall sense of dread, keeping viewers on edge as the story unfolds. The film's reliance on suspense rather than jump scares allows for a more gradual and immersive viewing experience, enhancing its impact on the audience. The performances in The Ring are generally solid, with Matilda Lutz delivering a compelling portrayal of Julia as she delves deeper into the mystery surrounding the cursed videotape. Alex Rowe brings depth to his character Holt, conveying both vulnerability and determination as he grapples with the consequences of his involvement in the deadly experiment. Johnny Galecki delivers a suitably enigmatic performance as Professor Gabriel, capturing the character's sinister charisma and ambiguous motives. However, the film's pacing can be uneven at times, with certain scenes feeling drawn out or repetitive, particularly during the middle act. While the slow build-up helps to establish tension and suspense, it also results in moments where the plot feels stagnant, detracting from the overall momentum of the narrative. Additionally, some of the character motivations and plot developments may strain credibility, requiring viewers to suspend their disbelief to fully engage with the story. The Ring also struggles to offer a fresh take on the familiar premise established by its predecessors. While the film introduces some intriguing new elements, such as the inclusion of a cult-like group and expanded lore surrounding the cursed videotape, it ultimately fails to capitalize on these ideas in a meaningful way. Instead, the movie relies heavily on recycled plot beats and tropes from previous entries in the franchise, resulting in a sense of déjà vu for audiences familiar with the series. In conclusion, The Ring, 2017, is a competent but ultimately derivative addition to the horror genre. While it succeeds in creating a tense and atmospheric experience, it falls short of delivering a truly original or innovative take on the material. Fans of the franchise may find enjoyment in revisiting familiar themes and imagery, but those seeking a fresh and inventive horror experience may be left wanting more. In the Tall Grass is a horror mystery film released in 2019, based on the novella of the same name by Stephen King and his son Joe Hill. Directed by Vincenzo Natali, known for his work on Cube and Splice, the film takes audiences on a chilling journey into a seemingly innocent field of tall grass, where nothing is as it seems. The story begins with siblings Becky and Cal, played by Laisla de Oliveira and Avery Whitted, who stop by the side of the road near a vast field of tall grass while on a road trip. They hear a young boy named Tobin, played by Wilbury Jr., calling for help from within the grass. Against their better judgment, they enter the field to assist him, only to become disoriented and separated from each other. As they wander deeper into the tall grass, Becky and Cal quickly realize that the field is not bound by the laws of time and space. They encounter bizarre and terrifying phenomena, including supernatural forces that seem intent on trapping them within the grass forever. The film explores themes of isolation, paranoia, and the unknown, as Becky and Cal struggle to find a way out of the deadly maze of grass. Along the way, they encounter other lost souls, including Tobin's parents Ross and Natalie, played by Patrick Wilson and Rachel Wilson, who are also trapped within the field. In the Tall Grass is a visually stunning film, with breathtaking cinematography that captures the eerie beauty of the grassy landscape. Director Vincenzo Natali creates a sense of dread and unease that permeates every frame, keeping audiences on the edge of their seats as the mystery unfolds. The performances in the film are strong across the board, with Laisla de Oliveira and Avery Whitted delivering compelling performances as the central siblings. Patrick Wilson also shines as the enigmatic Ross, adding depth and complexity to his character. While the film's plot may be somewhat convoluted at times, and some viewers may find certain aspects of the story confusing, In the Tall Grass ultimately succeeds in delivering a haunting and atmospheric horror experience. With its striking visuals, tense atmosphere, and unexpected twists, it is sure to leave a lasting impression on audiences who dare to enter its tangled maze of terror. While stuck in Los Angeles traffic, jazz pianist Sebastian Seb Wilder has a moment of road rage directed at aspiring actress Mia Dolan. After a hard day at work, Mia's next audition goes awry when the casting director takes a phone call during an emotional scene. That night, her roommates take her to a lavish party in the Hollywood Hills, promising her that someone in the crowd could jumpstart her career. After her car is towed, she walks home in disappointment. During a gig at a restaurant, Seb slips into jazz improvisation, despite the owner's warning to only play traditional Christmas pieces. Mia overhears him playing as she passes by. Moved, she enters the restaurant and observes Seb being fired for his disobedience. As he storms out, Mia attempts to compliment him, but he brushes her off. Months later, she runs into Seb at a party where he plays in a 1980s pop cover band. After the gig, they walk to their cars and lament wasting a lovely night together despite their clear chemistry. Seb arrives at Mia's workplace, and she shows him around the Warner Brothers backlit, where she works as a barista while expressing her passion for acting. He takes her to a jazz club, describing his passion for jazz and his desire to open his own club. Seb invites Mia to a screening of Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, and she accepts, forgetting a date with her boyfriend. Bored with the latter date, she rushes to the theater and finds Seb as the film begins. When the screening is interrupted due to a projector malfunction, Seb and Mia spend the rest of the evening together with a romantic visit to the Griffith Observatory. After more failed auditions, Mia decides, with Seb's encouragement, to write a one-woman play. He begins to perform regularly at a jazz club, and they eventually move in together. A former bandmate of Seb invites him to be the keyboardist in a new jazz fusion band, which will give him a steady income. Although dismayed by the band's pop style, Seb signs on after overhearing Mia trying to convince her mother that he is working on his career. The band finds success, but Mia knows their music is not the type of music Seb wants to perform. During the band's first tour, Seb and Mia have an argument. She accuses him of abandoning his dreams, while he claims that she liked him more when he was unsuccessful, because it made her feel better about herself. 2 weeks later, Seb misses Mia's play due to a photo shoot he had forgotten about. The play does not go as successfully as hoped, with few people attending and Mia overhearing dismissive comments about her performance. Unable to forgive him for missing her play and their previous argument, Mia returns to her hometown of Boulder City, Nevada. Seb receives a phone call from a prominent casting director, who attended Mia's play and invites her to audition for an upcoming film. He drives to Boulder City and persuades her to attend, which she reluctantly agrees to. During the audition, Mia is asked to simply tell a story. In response, she sings about how her aunt, a one-time stage actress who eventually died from alcoholism, inspired her to chase her dreams. Confident the audition was a success, Seb encourages Mia to devote herself to acting. The two then recognize that they will always love each other, despite what may come for their relationship. 5 years later, Mia is a famous actress and married to a different man, with whom she has a daughter. One night, the couple stumble upon a jazz bar. Recognizing the logo she had once designed, Mia realizes that Seb has opened his own jazz club. When he notices Mia in the crowd, Seb begins to play their love theme on the piano. A dream sequence unfolds in which the two imagine what might have been, had their relationship thrived along with their careers. Once the sequence ends, Seb and Mia acknowledge each other with a silent exchange of smiles before she leaves, each going their own separate ways. In Victorian London, the medical student Max McCandles becomes an assistant to the eccentric surgeon Godwin Baxter. He falls in love with Godwin's ward, Bella, a childlike young woman. Godwin reveals that the woman, who was pregnant, killed herself by leaping off a bridge. He replaced the woman's brain with that of her unborn fetus, resulting in her having an infant's mind, and named her Bella Baxter. With Godwin's encouragement, Max asks for Bella's hand in marriage. Bella accepts, but as her intelligence rapidly develops, she becomes curious about the outside world and herself. While exploring her own body, she discovers masturbation and sexual pleasure. She runs off with Duncan Wedderburn, a debauched lawyer whom Godwin hired to overhaul the nuptial contract. Deciding to let her go, Godwin begins a new experiment with a young woman, Felicity, who matures much more slowly than Bella. Bella and Duncan embark on a grand journey, beginning in Lisbon, where they have frequent sex. When Bella becomes difficult for him to control, Duncan smuggles her onto a cruise ship. Bella befriends two passengers, who open her mind to philosophy. Duncan attempts to stunt her growth, to no avail. He becomes exasperated and indulges in drinking and gambling. During a stop at Alexandria, Bella witnesses the suffering of the poor and becomes distraught. She entrusts Duncan's winnings to unscrupulous members of the crew, who falsely promise to give it to the needy. Unable to afford the rest of the trip, Bella and Duncan are dropped off at Marseille and make their way to Paris. Seeking money and accommodation, Bella begins working at a brothel. Duncan, enraged, has a breakdown and Bella abandons him. At the brothel, she comes under the tutelage of Madame Swiney and begins a relationship with another prostitute, Toinette, who introduces her to socialism. Godwin, now terminally ill, asks Max to bring Bella to him. Max locates her after tracking down Duncan, who has been institutionalized. Back in London, Bella reconciles with Godwin and renews her plans to marry Max. The wedding is interrupted by Duncan and General Alfie Blessington. The latter, addressing Bella as Victoria, declares that they were married before her disappearance and that he has come to reclaim her. She abandons Max to learn of her past life, but discovers Alfie's violent and sadistic nature and realizes Victoria committed suicide to escape him. Alfie confines Bella to his mansion. He threatens her at gunpoint to submit to genital mutilation, demanding she drink a sedative. She tosses the sedative in his face, and after a struggle, Alfie accidentally shoots himself in the foot before passing out. Godwin dies peacefully with Bella and Max at his side. Bella decides to follow Godwin's footsteps by becoming a surgeon with the help of Max and Toinette and transplants a goat's brain into Alfie's head. The story is narrated by Olive Pendergast, a 17-year-old high school girl living in Ojai, California, speaking into her webcam. Olive lies to her best friend, Rhiannon Abernathy, about going on a date in order to get out of a camping trip with Rhiannon's hippie parents, instead hanging around the house all weekend listening to Natasha Bedingfield's Pocketful of Sunshine from a musical greeting card her grandmother sent her. The following Monday, Rhiannon presses Olive until she lies about losing her virginity to a college boy. Marianne Bryant, a prudish devout Christian, overhears her telling the lie and it soon spreads throughout the school. The school's church group, run by Marianne, decides to save Olive from her supposed promiscuity. Olive confides the truth to her friend Brandon, who is bullied by other students for being gay. He asks her to pretend to have sex with him at a party so the other students will believe he is straight, to which she agrees. After a fight with Rhiannon, Olive decides to counteract the harassment by embracing her new reputation as the school tramp. She begins to wear more provocative clothing and stitch a red A onto her clothes, inspired by Hester Prynne from Nathaniel Hawthorne's 1850 novel The Scarlet Letter, which she has been reading in English class. Boys who have had no previous luck with girls beg Olive to increase their popularity by letting them claim they have had sex with her, which she does in exchange for gift cards to various stores. Things get worse when Micah, Marianne's boyfriend, contracts chlamydia from sleeping with Mrs. Griffith, the school guidance counselor, and blames Olive. As Mrs. Griffith's husband, Mr. Griffith is Olive's favorite teacher, she accepts the blame to spare their marriage. The church youth group, which now includes Rhiannon, begins harassing Olive in an attempt to get her to drop out of school. She is asked out on a date by Anson, Rhiannon's crush, which ends badly when he tries to bribe Olive to actually have sex with him and not just pretend that she did. Olive later reconnects with Todd, her childhood crush and the school mascot, who tells her he does not believe the rumors because she lied to him when he was not ready for his first kiss years ago. She decides to ask everyone she lied to help her by telling everyone the truth, but nobody is willing to relinquish their newfound popularity. When Mrs. Griffith also refuses to tell the truth, Olive threatens to expose her affair, but Mrs. Griffith says no one would believe her. Out of spite, Olive immediately tells Mr. Griffith, who subsequently separates from his wife. After talking with her open-minded mother, Olive comes up with a plan. She performs a song and dance number at a school pep rally to draw people's attention and tells them to watch her webcast later that night, promising an online sex show with Todd when in reality, it is the webcast that has served as the narrative device for the film. As Olive is concluding her webcast, Todd comes by her house riding a lawnmower. She signs off by saying that she may lose her virginity to him sooner or later, but declares that it is nobody's goddamn business. Olive texts Rhiannon and apologizes for lying to her. She goes outside to meet Todd and the two share a kiss before riding off on the lawnmower. Oppenheimer is a 2023 biographical war film written, directed, and co-produced by Christopher Nolan. The film is centered around the life of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the American theoretical physicist sticks under Patrick Blackett at the Cavendish Laboratory at the University of Cambridge. Upset with Blackett's attitude, Oppenheimer leaves him a poisoned apple, but later retrieves it. Visiting scientist Niels Bohr advises Oppenheimer to study theoretical physics at the University of Göttingen. Physicist Werner Heisenberg in Switzerland. Wanting to expand quantum physics research in the United States, Oppenheimer began teaching at the UMOS laboratory, and also collaborates with scientists Enrico Fermi, Leo Szilard, and David L. Hill at the University of Chicago. Could trigger a catastrophic chain reaction that ignites the atmosphere. After consulting with Albert Einstein, Oppenheimer concludes the chances testified about Strauss's personal motives in engineering Oppenheimer's downfall, resulting in Strauss's nomination being the Fermi Award as a gesture of political rehabilitation. A flashback or indeed started a chain reaction that will destroy the world.
And the world is not prepared.
The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, released in 2021 and directed by Michael Chaab. Arne Cheyenne Johnson, who claimed demonic possession as a defense for a murder he committed. Suspense and mystery, keeping audiences engaged as the Warrens uncover clues and confront murders once again, portraying the Warrens with depth and authenticity. Their on-screen Do It offers plenty of scares and intense moments. Some viewers may find fault with its pacing and narrative structure. The film occasionally feels disjointed as it shifts between different plot threads and supernatural encounters, leading to moments of unevenness in the storytelling. Overall, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It is a worthy addition to the Conjuring franchise, offering a fresh take on the Warrens' paranormal investigations. With its compelling story, strong performances, and effective scares, the film delivers an entertaining and chilling experience for fans of supernatural horror. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It takes the Warrens on one of their most harrowing investigations yet. The film begins with a chilling exorcism performed on a young boy named David Glatzel, during which Arne Cheyenne Johnson, the boyfriend of David's sister Debbie, invites the demon into himself to save David. Following the exorcism, strange occurrences continue to plague the Glatzel family, leading to a series of terrifying events, culminating in the murder of Alan Bono by Arne, who claims to have been possessed at the time of the killing. As Arnie's murder trial unfolds, Ed and Lorraine Warren become involved, convinced that demonic possession was truly at the heart of the crime. They embark on a race against time to gather evidence of the demon's existence and save Arne from a life in prison. Their investigation leads them. Peninsula is a South Korean action horror film directed By Yoon Sang-ho, released in 2020. It serves as a standalone sequel to the 2016 film Train to Busan. The movie explores a post-apocalyptic world where a zombie outbreak has ravaged society, and survivors must navigate not only the undead threat but also the darker aspects of human nature. The story is set 4 years after the events of Train to Busan and follows a former soldier named Young-suk, played by Gang Dong-won. Young-suk, traumatized by his experiences during the initial zombie outbreak, is reluctantly drawn back into the zombie-infested Korean peninsula when offered a mission with a lucrative reward. Upon returning, Young-suk discovers that the peninsula has become a lawless wasteland where survivors, both human and undead, struggle for survival. He encounters a group of people, including a mother, Lee Young-hyun, and her daughters, who are trying to escape the peninsula. Together, they face not only the relentless zombie horde but also ruthless human adversaries who have embraced a dog-eat-dog mentality in the absence of civilization. Peninsula distinguishes itself by expanding the scope of the original film, moving beyond the claustrophobic confines of a train to present a broader view of the devastated world. The movie combines intense zombie action sequences with themes of desperation, resilience, and the moral complexities that arise in a post-apocalyptic landscape. Director Yoon Sang-ho maintains a brisk pace, delivering thrilling set pieces and showcasing the tension between the surviving humans. The film's visual effects and cinematography contribute to the overall atmosphere, creating a stark and haunting portrayal of a society in ruins. While Peninsula received praise for its action and visual elements, some critics pointed out that it doesn't capture the same emotional depth as its predecessor, Train to Busan. Nevertheless, the film stands on its own as an adrenaline-fueled zombie thriller with a unique take on the consequences of a zombie apocalypse. For viewers who enjoy action-packed horror with a dystopian twist, Peninsula offers a compelling and thrilling cinematic experience, building on the legacy of its predecessor while exploring new dimensions of the zombie genre. The Witch, Part 1. The Subversion is a South Korean action thriller film directed by Park Hoon-young, known for his work on New World and I Saw the Devil. Released in 2018, this film offers a captivating blend of mystery, suspense, and action, captivating audiences with its unique storyline and compelling characters. The movie centers around Jiya, portrayed by Kim Do-mi, a young girl who mysteriously disappeared years ago and resurfaces with no memory of her past. Raised by a loving couple in a rural town, Jiya lives a quiet life until her latent abilities begin to emerge. With superhuman strength and telekinetic powers, she struggles to understand her true identity and the origin of her abilities. The plot takes a dark turn when Jiya is forcibly taken to a secret government facility by a group of mysterious individuals. There, she discovers that she is part of a government experiment aimed at creating genetically enhanced super soldiers. As Jiya delves deeper into the truth of her past, she uncovers a web of lies, betrayal, and manipulation that threatens her very existence. Kim Do-mi delivers a standout performance as Jiya, portraying her character's journey from innocence to empowerment with depth and authenticity. Her portrayal is complemented by Choi Woo-shik's portrayal of Dr. Beck, a sympathetic doctor who becomes Jiyoon's ally in her quest for truth. Director Park Hoon-young's masterful direction is evident throughout the film, as he skillfully navigates the complex narrative and keeps audiences on the edge of their seats with suspenseful twists and turns. The film's sleek visuals, intense action sequences, and atmospheric soundtrack further enhance the overall experience, immersing viewers in Jiyoon's world and heightening the tension to a fever pitch. The Witch, Part 1. The Subversion is more than just a superhero film, it's a thought-provoking exploration of identity, morality, and the consequences of unchecked power. With its gripping storyline, strong performances, and stunning visuals, it is sure to leave a lasting impression on audiences and solidify its place as a modern classic in the action thriller genre. Ashen of the North is a South Korean special episode that serves as a prequel to the popular Netflix series Kingdom. Released in 2021, this standalone episode focuses on the character Ashen and provides a deeper understanding of the origins of the zombie plague that ravages the Joseon kingdom. The story centers around Ashen, portrayed by Jiya Jun, a mysterious figure with a tragic past. Set in the northern regions of Joseon, the episode unravels the events that led to the creation of the undead and the spread of the mysterious resurrection plant. One of the key strengths of Kingdom, Ashen of the North, is its exploration of the human cost of the zombie outbreak. The narrative delves into the personal struggles, sacrifices, and betrayals that shape Ashen's character and set the stage for the broader events in the Kingdom series. Jiya Jun delivers a powerful performance, portraying Ashen with a mix of vulnerability and determination. Her character's journey is both poignant and suspenseful, adding depth to the overarching narrative of the Kingdom universe. The special episode maintains the high production value seen in the main series, featuring impressive cinematography, detailed set designs, and well-executed action sequences. The visuals effectively convey the bleak and chilling atmosphere of the zombie-infested world. Kingdom, Ashen of the North successfully expands the lore of the Kingdom series, providing answers to some lingering questions while introducing new mysteries and connections. It enhances the viewer's understanding of the geopolitical and supernatural elements that drive the overarching storyline. While offering valuable insights, the episode also introduces moral complexities, blurring the lines between heroes and villains, and exploring the consequences of individuals' actions on a grand scale. For fans of Kingdom, this special episode is a must-watch, offering a compelling and emotionally resonant addition to the series. It enriches the overall narrative, deepens the lore, and provides a satisfying experience for those eager to delve further into the origins of the zombie plague in the Joseon Kingdom. Evil Dead Rise. It is a franchise horror movie, so calling it original might be a stretch. But it comes from a series that has always had its own brutal, and sometimes wacky, identity. You may know what to expect from an Evil Dead movie, but you'll never be fully prepared. Also, it's a series that has wisely kept itself from oversaturating the market. This is only the 5th feature film since the original was released back in 1981 and the first in 10 years. Evil Dead Rise is the 2nd feature from writer-director Lee Cronin. His previous film was 2019's The Hole in the Ground, a cleverly effective chiller that shares some of the same thematic interests as his latest, namely the anxieties of parenthood. While his first movie had a more psychological horror bend, Cronin's sophomore effort lets him explore that parenthood theme in the grisly, gruesome Evil Dead world, which longtime buddies Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell first launched 42 years ago for only $375,000. Times have changed and movies cost a lot more to make, but Evil Dead Rise stays true to its roots and was made for a modest, by today's standards, $15 million. But don't worry, every penny made its way on screen. Everything from the gnarly practical effects to the incredible makeup to the gallons upon gallons upon gallons of blood helps to create this visually amazing buffet of grotesquerie that long received widespread acclaim for its emotional depth and intensity. Alex Wolff, Millie Shapiro, and Gabriel Byrne also deliver strong performances, contributing to the film's overall sense of unease. Astor's direction skillfully combines psychological horror with supernatural elements, creating an unsettling atmosphere that lingers long after the credits roll. The use of symbolism and intricately woven details adds layers of complexity to the story, inviting viewers to dissect the film's mysteries. Hereditary received praise for its willingness to subvert genre expectations and tackle profound themes. Some viewers, however, found its intense and disturbing imagery to be polarizing. The film's unconventional narrative choices and its exploration of generational trauma set it apart within the horror genre. In summary, Hereditary is a haunting and thought-provoking film that goes beyond traditional horror tropes. Its atmospheric storytelling, coupled with standout performances, makes it a significant entry in the psychological horror genre, appealing to those who appreciate films that linger in the realm of the unsettling and the mysterious. The Killer, 2023, is a gripping thriller/crime film that follows the story of a seasoned assassin navigating the dangerous underworld of organized crime. Directed by an up-and-coming filmmaker, the movie promises to deliver intense action sequences, intricate plot twists, and compelling character development. At its core, The Killer explores themes of morality, redemption, and the consequences of a life steeped in violence. The protagonist, portrayed by a talented actor known for their versatility, grapples with the ethical implications of their profession while facing relentless pursuit by law enforcement and rival criminal syndicates. The film's cinematography captures the gritty urban landscape, heightening the tension and suspense as the protagonist navigates a world where loyalty is fleeting and betrayal lurks around every corner. The supporting cast includes dynamic performances from seasoned actors, each adding depth to the film's ensemble of characters. With its pulse-pounding action sequences and thought-provoking narrative, The Killer promises to keep audiences on the edge of their seats from start to finish. While it may draw inspiration from classic crime thrillers of the past, it also brings a fresh perspective to the genre, offering a modern take on the age-old themes of crime, justice, and the human condition. Overall, The Killer is a must-see for fans of thrilling cinema, offering a riveting ride that will leave viewers questioning the nature of good and evil long after the credits roll. Train to Busan, directed by Yoon Sang-ho and released in 2016, is a South Korean zombie apocalypse thriller that received widespread acclaim for its intense action, emotional depth, and social commentary. The film revolves around Suk-woo, a workaholic fund manager, and his daughter, Suan. As they board a train from Seoul to Busan to visit Suan's mother, a zombie outbreak begins, turning passengers into aggressive and fast-moving zombies. The train becomes a microcosm of society, reflecting the inherent struggles, self-preservation instincts, and sacrifices made in the face of a catastrophic event. Train to Busan is praised for its well-executed suspense sequences, heart-wrenching emotional moments, and social commentary on class divisions. The film effectively blends horror with human drama, exploring themes of sacrifice, compassion, and the consequences of a society divided. The fast-paced and intense action scenes, coupled with the confined space of the train, create a sense of claustrophobia and urgency. The film's cinematography captures the chaos and desperation of the characters as they fight for survival. The performances, especially by Gong Yoo as Suk-woo and Kim Suan as Suan, contribute to the film's emotional impact. The dynamic between the characters, including other passengers on the train, adds depth to the storytelling. Beyond its thrilling zombie narrative, Train to Busan also addresses societal issues, portraying how people from different backgrounds and classes react under extreme pressure. The film's social commentary serves as a poignant backdrop to the horror elements, elevating it beyond a typical zombie flick. In summary, Train to Busan is a gripping and emotionally resonant film that successfully combines intense horror with social commentary. Its well-crafted storytelling, compelling characters, and visceral action make it a standout in the zombie genre, earning it acclaim both domestically and internationally. Was released in 2020. Directed by Nikki Caro, this version aimed to bring the animated Disney classic to life with a fresh perspective. Please note that developments or new releases may have occurred since then. Mulan, 2020, follows the story of Hua Mulan, played by Louis Fei, a courageous young woman who disguises herself as a man to take her ailing father's place in the army. The film seeks to honor the Chinese legend of Hua Mulan and offers a departure from the musical animated version, focusing on a more realistic and action-oriented approach. Visually, Mulan is a stunning spectacle, with breathtaking cinematography capturing the vast landscapes of China and intricate martial arts sequences. The film incorporates vibrant colors and detailed costumes that contribute to the overall visual splendor, immersing the audience in the world of ancient China. Liu Yifei's portrayal of Mulan is commendable, capturing the character's resilience and determination. The film also features strong supporting performances, including Donnie Yen as Commander Tun, Sima as Mulan's father, and Gong Li as Shanyang, a new character with mystical abilities. One notable difference from the animated version is the absence of musical numbers, a decision made to align the live-action film with a more realistic tone. Instead, the film emphasizes themes of honor, family, and Mulan's journey to embrace her true self while challenging societal expectations. While Mulan received praise for its visual grandeur and action sequences, it faced criticism for deviations from the animated source material, including the omission of beloved characters such as Mushu and the absence of musical elements. The film also sparked some controversy, including concerns about the depiction of certain characters and the choice of filming locations. Ultimately, Mulan 2020 offers a different take on the classic tale, catering to audiences who appreciate epic action films with cultural authenticity. Viewers need to approach this adaptation with an open mind, recognizing its distinct vision while acknowledging the cultural significance of the original legend and the 1998 animated film.